Is he in the taxidermy? Is someone else in there? It can't be them. It can't be them. Oh no! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to Korra Season 2, Episode 4. Now, the last episode left it off in a really interesting place. Unalaq is definitely, by far, the cemented villain for this season, going off to invade the southern tribe, and has now got in between Korra and her father's relationship, and I guess both parents at this point. I'm trying to understand what he's trying to do, right? Because he's now framed Korra's parents when they just fixed their relationship, and Korra was actually there when the whole attempted assassination was done, so that's something. But he's trying to connect Korra's parents to the attack. I just think that's a dumb decision for him to do, considering he wants Korra to be on his side. I mean, he's got to have such a good amount of evidence to be able to pin that on them. If they said that they didn't do it and they distanced themselves from the whole thing, I believe them. I feel like the only way to get around it is for them to actually be like this. Then I don't want Korra's parents to be evil. Definitely going to have to see how this pans out, because it just feels a little iffy at the minute with the guy really wanting Korra's help with everything. He needs her to go to the North Pole to open the other portal thing. So to incriminate her parents does not feel like a smart thing to do unless he has a good amount of evidence. And then, even then, I'm not quite sure if I'm happy with Korra turning against her parents. Then on the other side of that, we got the Tenzin stuff. And this is the thing that I had the biggest issue with in the last episode. Revealing that Aang probably wasn't the best father, it just does not sit right with me. I mean, yes, you can look at it and you can understand how it happened, where he had the whole weight of saving a culture on his back, and so he focused his attention on one child and neglected the two. I can understand that, but we've got to see Aang's journey. We've got to see how he understood balance and how he saw that everyone in his team was what led to the ultimate victory. So I just cannot imagine him being like neglectful over his other two children, while also having Katara stand by and not say anything about it. That feels like an odd decision there, and that does not sit right. Yeah, Tenzin and her siblings are still looking for Iki, so hopefully that gets resolved in this, because she was still listening after a whole episode. So hopefully they can just, I guess, get past this whole thing and they can become better siblings over it. But it will still mean that Aang was not a great father to his children. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in. And she's just letting this happen. So, okay, what? You just sort of...
But your parents held meetings with the rebels, right here in their home.
I can't
That
believe
was
you're
it.
doing this to your own family.
You were at a party with the rebels, Varric, basically. You associated with them, that's basically it.
My parents had nothing to do with the men who attacked you.
I'm sure you're right. So we should have nothing to worry about.
Okay, so it's just a trial. Is it, I kind of want Korra to just go nuts and free her parents anyway, but I guess if he's doing well now, it's only a trial.
Could have closed our deal an hour ago.
Oh, finally, Asami's back. Been like gone for like 2 episodes, hasn't she?
And the best part about it, Eska doesn't know I'm here.
Oh, poor Bolin, you can never escape.
Hey.
I'm not on the hunt for you, currently.
Oh dear, so, okay, so, oh no.
He is a traitor to the Water Tribe, along with our aunt and uncle.
Korra's parents were arrested?
Yes.
Yeah, so how are they going to get involved? What can you lot do? Are you going to interfere?
Boyfriend, bow to me when I exit.
Yes, my sweet koala otter.
Oh dear me, he is completely under her control.
Don't let her treat you that way. Stand up for yourself.
Go on, Asami, tell him.
Gave me terrible advice. Thank you, Mako.
Wait, how are your girl problems my fault?
They seem to always be.
Tell her how you really feel.
Honesty is for fools, kid.
Where are you? Where were you hiding?
Ditch this girl, then make yourself scarce.
Is he in the taxidermy?
Somewhere Unalaq will never find me. Inside Ping Ping!
Oh dear.
You can come out.
No way, mister. Not until I know it's absolutely 150
So he just was in there this entire time. Okay. Is someone else in there?
Your assistant's in there too?
Julie never leaves my side.
Odd, but okay.
You forgot the honey!
Sorry, sir. There isn't any in here.
No honey?
Okay, this is funny. Okay, I love this guy.
Bolin, I got a little something for you round back.
Oh, that is disgusting.
So I need you to make sure my trusty rebels stay out of prison.
What's the money for?
Bribery, of course!
Oh, no shame about it whatsoever. Can he confirm if Korra's parents have actually anything to do with it? Because that would be like the best way to find out. I'm trying to figure out how Unalaq is going to frame it.
Iki, where are you? Shoot! Go bother someone else.
Aw, they love him.
You are worse than Kaya and Boomy.
Okay, everybody here?
Oh, we found her, finally. Okay, so she's fine. And she seems happy, not scared of just being alone.
This is going to be a civilized breakfast.
Oh.
Daddy always says a blessing before we eat, so be quiet and listen up.
Is she happy here? What is she doing here? Why?
But we are most thankful because Milo and Janora aren't here because they stink.
Oh, okay, so yep, so angry at her siblings, like Tenzin, a lot of mirroring. But I'm surprised she survived the night and she's just happy and chilling.
Is there room for one more?
Sure. You can sit next to Blueberry Spice Head.
She's just made friends with baby, like, Sky Person.
And that's Princess Rainbow. And that's Twinkle Starchild. And that's Juniper Lightning Bug.
She's thriving.
New ones, huh? Can they be my new brothers and sisters?
Did she make bowls as well?
But only if they say it's okay. No, he's nice. They say it's okay.
Okay, this is so sweet. Cause it's okay. Yeah, Tenzin's gonna like relive his, I guess, sibling troubles by seeing it through his own children then. But would Tenzin be a bad father then? What's happening there? No, I don't think he's a bad father, but the children obviously have issues, and that's what's gonna highlight it for himself.
I gave all the money to some guys over there. I told them to take care of it, and then I winked.
Who did you give it to? You gave it to the wrong. Oh no, he definitely gave it to the wrong people. Are they related to anything in here? No, they have nothing to do with this.
Judge Hota presiding.
Man, I should have paid him.
Obviously.
I was asleep in my chambers when the rebels attacked. And the next thing I remember was waking up in the snow after Avatar Korra had saved me.
Are you gonna try them individually or as a group?
You attended a meeting where Varric tried to incite a civil war. And were these men present at that meeting?
As a group.
And where exactly did this meeting take place?
Objection!
Bad judge.
I'll ask you one more time. Where did the meeting happen?
My parents' house.
There's no way this is gonna convince her.
Your Honor, if I may,
May what?
may I declare a mistrial?
What are you doing? No! Oh dear.
My parents are innocent.
I've heard all I need to. I'll return shortly with my decision.
I'm glad that Korra's still defending her parents. This hasn't convinced her that they're bad. Then how on earth can Unalaq get her to do what he wants?
I was wondering if we could talk.
I grant you permission to speak freely.
This is so controlling.
I'm starting to feel like that spark is fading.
It is as if a great chasm has formed between us and nothing can bridge it.
Can she break them up? Can that work?
You understand?
Nothing, that is, except marriage.
Oh no! Why would you let her put it on you?
You may express your joy through tears.
Oh, why? Bolin, no! Oh, great. So that's, okay, they are engaged. Really?
I have
Hurt
found
happen?
you innocent.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, at least one of them. What about the dad?
On the charge of treason, you are all found guilty.
He just led a meeting, so okay, not even individually.
Punishment for this crime is death.
What? They have capital punishment? What? Okay, how on earth does Unalaq get his way? Unalaq is gonna get his brother and the Avatar's father killed.
Take their lives and I'll take yours.
Korra.
Oh!
But I must ask you to reconsider. Show these men and my brother mercy.
Is that how he's gonna get his way? He's gonna forgive them? Or some...
Your lives will be spared, but you will live them out in prison.
Life imprisonment? Oh, dear me. For just holding a meeting.
Thank you, Uncle.
Oh, great. See, that's all it takes to get you on his side? He's made this whole thing happen. He showed up at the door while you were having a meeting and had them arrested. He's very much involved in this.
You know, I could get used to it here. No one's yelling at me or telling me I'm delusional.
You're meant to get out of this, not to stay here with her.
Aunt Kaya is super nice and pretty and always asks me how I'm feeling. And Uncle Boomy is like the funniest person in the world.
When's he going to realize that he's basically acting like one of his children around his own siblings?
Being part of a family is hard, huh, Daddy?
I couldn't agree with you more.
Okay, he was helping her. He's getting her to realize that even though she might have problems with her siblings, it's all good in the end. It's just part of being a family.
I guess the nice part about a family is they'll always be there for you. Even though Twinkle Starchild and Princess Rainbow fight.
These names.
We should probably head back, huh?
I suppose. Can't hide in this cave forever.
Okay, I'm going to choose to believe that Tenzin's just playing that long and he's just being mature and he's not actually trying to hide from his siblings.
Honey, are you all right?
I'm fine.
Life imprisonment.
Good. And let's bust you out of here right now.
I'm on board. Do it.
Saving me would start a war. If fighting were
Fine
to
with
break
that.
out, the North would crush the South. I'll be all right.
You have the Avatar on your side. That would make Korra have to choose and she'd choose the right side.
Fine. I promise.
As he even said, he only told Korra that he wasn't part of the thing. He just had the meeting there. He went against what Varric wanted. How come that has not been, like, brought up yet?
It's okay, Mom.
I hate feeling so helpless.
I know.
Who are you going against? Tell me you're going against Unalaq now. How can you still be on his side after this? You're going after the judge! Okay, that might be a smart decision for Unalaq. To make Korra go after, like, make this the enemy instead of him. And now you're just trying to get away as fast as you can. I'm surprised the dog can keep up. Is she gonna kill him? It's the same thing that happened with Tarlock, isn't it? It's the intimidation. Yeah, intimidating to get her way. This isn't great, she hasn't learned.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do. I was just following Unalaq's orders.
What are you talking about?
Okay! Oh yeah, oh dear.
I've worked for your uncle for years. He said he needed everyone to think the trial was fair.
Unalaq told you what to say?
I'm surprised you didn't get that from the entire meeting that it was all Unalaq's fault.
But he also wants your father out of the way, just like when he got your father banished.
What do you mean he got my father banished?
Why does Unalaq hate his brother so much? That opened up a whole bag of worms. Okay.
Hey there, Dad. Oh. Sorry I didn't turn out to be an airbender like you hoped.
Oh.
But I've tried my best to keep the world safe. Hope I made you proud.
I bet you did.
Of course he'd be proud of you, Boomy.
Kaya, I was just,
Okay, this is really sweet. I didn't realize I needed this. Like, seeing Aang's other children that aren't, like, spiritually connected that much with Aang, talking to Aang and talking about it like this.
You always know when I need a hug.
I really hate the thing that Aang would have been disappointed in them for not being airbenders. I don't want to think that.
Tell you that from the get-go.
He's still in the bear.
Unalaq hired the barbarians to attack their tribe.
That's okay. Oh, they weren't some other tribe. That was actually Unalaq.
Unalaq wanted your dad out of the way so he could become chief.
He started all of that?
I can't believe I trusted him. I'm busting my father and the rebels out of jail.
No, you got to expose Unalaq first, or else you're going to make yourself the enemy of the people.
Will you help me or not?
Of course I'll help.
Me too.
Count me in.
You can actually move in that thing? Oh. Oh no. Oh no, even Pabu!
No, the honesty thing worked out great. So great that she decided we should get married.
Oh dear me. How is he gonna get out of this?
Look, the only way to deal with crazy women is to lie big and leave fast. Lucky for you, Varric's got your back. Now, let's talk plan.
Are you gonna help Bolin, or is this the plan for the father? Ow, diff. Nice and efficient. Cool.
Where is he?
I'm sorry, Korra. You'll never see your father again.
What are you doing? What is your motive here? How can you get what you want out of this? Like, Aman's intentions were very clear and he was very smart about how he did it.
On a ship headed to the northern tribe, he'll serve out his sentence there.
Bring him back.
Away from Korra. But that brings Korra to the north.
As the Avatar, you cannot threaten war. You must remain neutral, or our tribes will never find unity.
No, she can kind of, and she doesn't need to do war, she can do it herself.
You've always been jealous of my father, haven't you? You got him banished so you could become chief and—
I wouldn't say it's jealousy, it's just him being power hungry. I'm assuming his brother's the older one, so he would have inherited the throne. I know it's like an elected position, but
If you start a war, the dark spirits will annihilate the South.
I'm starting to think that's an empty threat. He's the villain. Is that truth?
Because you still need me to open the northern portal.
There we go.
I don't.
What? Why not?
You've served your purpose.
Okay, so you no longer need her. And he is an exceptional vendor. Okay. Oh! You got more. No, you don't. Numbers don't even matter to this guy. Okay. He definitely let himself get attacked, didn't he? There's no way this guy would have been taken down. If he's able to go toe-to-toe with the Avatar.
If we get to Varric's boat, we can still save your father.
Let's go.
Okay, he's in control. What are you planning? What is he doing? I'm trying to figure out what he could put. So he doesn't need Korra for the other portal then. So I'm a little lost.
Julie, do the thing.
Oh.
That platypus bear is pooping money!
Oh dear, this is so weird. Like, that's a taxidermy and he's just walking around in it. Is it taxidermy or is it just a costume? I'm guessing just a costume if he's able to move this much in it.
Think we can catch up to it?
Sure, once you get us past our friends from the north.
Yeah, that's a good point. Avatar. Oh, can we get a cool scene?
Get me close to those ships. I could waterbend them out of the way.
A plane? Well, why didn't you say so?
You have one on the ship, don't you? Amazing. These were relatively new invention, weren't they? How'd he get one?
Why do you have a plane on your boat?
In case the boat sinks, of course.
There's no runway. How are we supposed to take off?
Julie!
He didn't think
Take
of
a
that.
note.
Great.
Build runway.
Yes, sir.
I love that Julie is just in there and don't even see her, she's just speaking. Give it some wind, air, come on.
Now!
Okay, no, just jet engine, cool. And it worked, okay, cool. Okay, do some cool Avatar stuff. I want to go Avatar state to move the ships. Yes. And it's all on a plane, this is awesome. Giant tidal wave. Nice. And hopefully they can... Yep, they can't attack. Excellent. Hopefully, would they follow him though? Would they follow you lot? Would they follow Varric and his ship?
Captain, you're never gonna believe this.
That's such a weird sight. But at least Bolin is away from his fiancée now. Amazing!
My dad's on that ship.
This is going to be a very long journey. They're sailing to the other side of the world.
Jump!
Oh, and the plane's gone. Oh, everyone got out. 3 of you on that thing. Okay, they're all fine. Is she going to be able to save her dad? Or is this going to be another... No, Unlock was fine. This is going to be another trick. No one's here.
Where are the
He
prisoners?
gave her the information. No prisoners.
Korra, this is crazy.
Oh no, he is here.
You wouldn't do anything rash.
I had to. I'll explain later.
I'm still lost on Unlock's plan. I don't get what he's trying to do, what he's trying to accomplish. Is it just power? Because he got rid of his brother from the north, so he got the position of leader, and then he's done the same in the south.
Iki, I'm glad you're back.
Sorry we made fun of you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Want to play airball?
Ah, okay, good. All fixed. Now, if only Tenzin can be like his children.
I've worked so hard to celebrate Dad's legacy that I may have overlooked the parts of him that were less than ideal.
I mean, okay, good. Heal, but don't like the Aang bit.
I thought you two might want to see this. Mom gave it to me before we left.
That is one good-looking family, huh?
Ah, so yeah, Tenzin was... Oh, so Tenzin was the youngest. So they had children and just stopped when they got an airbender. That's not... I don't like thinking that.
My own brother betrayed me. And our entire tribe.
War shall start.
I've been running from my past for too long. It's time to put my brother in his place.
But why'd he let you go?
I'll be proud to fight alongside you, Dad.
No, Korra.
But you said the South doesn't stand a chance.
Why? She's finally picked the right side.
Best way for you to help is by getting the President of the United Republic on our side.
Really?
But we'll need the united forces in order to win this war.
Okay. So you need more troops. And we're going to the President of the United Republic, so actually going to meet that guy, because they elected a new guy to be head of it all.
I really need to thank you, Korra.
For what? I started a civil war.
It's going to be, it's about the...
Now, Esk and I are officially broken up.
Obviously.
Yep, looks like we have company. And not the fun kind.
It can't be them. It can't be them.
What is that?
It's going to be her, isn't it? Yep, it's her. The fear in his eyes. Oh, no!
Quick question. Is this thing fast enough to get away from my crazy waterbending ex-girlfriend?
Is it faster than her?
Why do you think I built this boat?
Ah, so yeah, crazy waterbending ex-girlfriends then. And, okay, yep, no, great, he's being chased by that. Wonderful. Okay, this episode was very good. I am loving the Bolin plot more and more now, just seeing how crazy it's getting. I feel bad for him, yes, but it is adding, like, a good, fun, comedic side to this whole thing. Well, now just looking at the main plot and what's going on with Korra and the father and everything, it's very confusing. I think with Aman, it was throwing me, because with Aman, we knew what his plan was from the get-go, basically. He wanted to equalize and do all that. Then it started building up and he started revealing ways to equalize and fulfill his main purpose. But the main thing about it was we knew from the start. Ozai, we pretty much knew from the start because of the war. This is the first one that we don't really know what his end goal is, and that's what I think is throwing me a little bit. I'm looking forward to find out what it actually is, but it's kind of tricky to try and figure it out. With the way it's being set up, there's a lot of different aspects which I can't quite figure out how they link. You have the spiritual side of things, and then you have his quest for power. That's the two things that I feel like they don't connect quite well. You would think spiritual side plus assimilating power do not go hand in hand. And then his motives here and his moves that he's making just feel a bit iffy and just, I guess, interesting. It'll be interesting to see how much sense they make when everything is all said and done. But right now, it just feels hard to follow. So now we know that he was the one that hired the Berserkers from in the North Pole to get his brother expelled and pushed out. That let him fill the vacuum. And I'm guessing, right, I know South Pole apparently is an elected leader. North Pole, I think that one's done through a family because you had Yue. And then I'm guessing these guys came from Yue. So Korra is technically connected to Yue. And since Korra's father is the oldest one, with him being kicked out, made Unlock the next heir to the, I'm going to call it throne, even though it's not really a throne, it's just the saying, heir to the throne. So that got him his position of power. Then he came to the southern tribe, fixed the spirit stuff as a cover to just stay there, and now has moved his army in. He's orchestrated this entire thing to get his brother kicked out, and I guess look bad one, so he can fill the power vacuum and become the full leader of the southern tribe. So now he is uniting both of them by being the leader of both of them. And as he said in the last one, I think it was the last one, he wants to open the two spirit portals so that you can, I think he said, to teleport between both of the sides of it. Because it's a portal. He said that man and spirit would be able to move through from one side to the other in seconds or something. So that, I'm guessing, would be very unifying to the water tribes, as they would no longer have to travel across the world to get to the other side of it. So I'm guessing that his ultimate goal is just to do that and to unite the water tribes. That feels just in its most simplistic form. But he's going about different things weirdly, because now we know that he doesn't need Korra to open the other portal. So why bother doing all this and messing... I mean, I guess that makes more sense now, why he didn't care about messing with the parents, because he doesn't need Korra. So maybe he only needed Korra to open the one, because he still has spirit abilities, because he was able to calm the other angry spirits. So maybe he is just able to open the other portal. That still means he has to go back to the north to do it, which is going to be a long journey. I think his little mission is very convoluted compared to Aman's and Ozai's. Both of theirs was very simple. It was either world domination or world equality. That was basically it. His is a lot more tricky. It's world domination, but also through the spiritual side of things, and then how trying to manipulate the Avatar and do all this other stuff with a rebellion and civil war. There's a lot of things going on. Focus on the water tribes. It's a little confusing, but I am starting to get it. But yeah, so happy that Korra actually sided with her parents. She didn't turn against them. No matter what the judge said, she still sided with them. I think the one thing I will note is she clearly did not learn from Tarlok in season 1 with the whole intimidation thing. She did the same thing with the judge. That's not a great thing to do. It's intimidation. Avatar shouldn't be doing that. I mean, yes, it did get the result she needed, and turns out that he was bad and evil, so yes, it is the right thing to do there, but really, you want another way to go about it. You can't really have an Avatar just going up to people and just intimidating them to get what she wants. Then again, it is her personality, so maybe she just needs to grow up more to learn that there are better ways to do things. But I will say also do love the stuff with the mum and how it showed off the tender side of this and the reality of the situation, because it could be very easy just like not show the effects of what's happening on like this person who doesn't really have that much going on in the story, but it's really sweet that they did that and just showed the pain it's causing someone outside of all of this. But yeah, then very happy Asami is back. I think she was in the first episode, then kind of just disappeared. So glad that she is back and doing something now, and she's back with the crew. Because yeah, I did not enjoy her absence. It felt weird. She was finally getting more to do, just befriending the group, and then just disappeared for 2 episodes. Glad she's back and just doing more. Yeah, Varric I am loving so much now. He was always crazy and a little eccentric in his other episodes, but here he got a lot to do, and it's just nuts. He was hiding in a bear suit this entire time, and I'm assuming he's been on Julie's shoulders for it, because there's no way he'll be able to stand up in that thing. And she's just been stuck in there, pooping out money, and giving him tea. The relationship is so weird and so kooky. Also, he had such a fun thing to this season. You have this really serious dynamic going on with what the world is, with what Unalaq is doing. Then you have that partnered with whatever Varric is doing, which feels like his own little world. So I've got to say, I love the balance that they're striking in the serious and the comedic stuff here. Season 1, I think there was a much more focus on the serious, but also having levity within it. This has struck the balance in a much more 50-50 way. Having Unalaq be the focus on serious stuff going on, and Varric just being the comical, nutty, chaotic side of it all. Yeah, then Tenzin's side of this whole thing. I'm still not happy that Aang is apparently a bad father. Not happy with that. But I'm glad the siblings healed. That was their little journey, so now they can be better and just together again. And yeah, it's just... I get that that's the siblings' story in itself is fine. Having a rift between them and healing and becoming better because of that, perfectly fine. I do not like why it's there though, because Aang apparently is a bad parent and neglected the other 2. Even in the family photo, it makes it worse because it shows that Tenzin is the youngest, and that means that Aang and Katara could have stopped having kids because they had an airbender. We'll never know because I don't think they'll say it, but like, they didn't have any kids after, so it does lead me to believe that they just stopped having kids when they got the airbender because they knew that they needed to have kids to continue airbending. They had Boomy, no bender. They had Kaya, waterbender. They had Tenzin, airbender. Didn't have any after. Of course, I don't really know how many children is likely to be had in a family in this world, but it feels very obvious that that's what happened, because Tenzin, he's had a bunch of children now, all airbenders. At least we know of. Rohan hasn't really done anything yet. But yeah, I do like how the sibling story was shown, how Tenzin needed to see his child and see how he was acting basically the same way as his small child, and then realise he has to apologise. And being a family is a difficult thing, and how you do need to put aside your own sort of feelings and stuff and look at other people and what they're going through, because at the end of the day, you're all family, you're all going to love each other, and it's just, they're always going to be there for you. And you should take what they're saying and listen to it and not just be clouded in your own little world of what you remember. I can imagine that is what this Aang did, and he made the family feel like it revolved around Tenzin, so that's what he remembers from it. He remembered everyone circling him because he was the airbender, the next one brought into the world, this special person. So his whole family revolved around that. And that is how his memories got shaped. And now he's seeing through the lens of his children that that is not how family works, so hopefully they can just be a better family from now on. First of all, I really enjoyed this episode, but mainly Korra's side of things. Tenzin I liked it, but again, it's the fault that I keep mentioning, the Aang stuff. That's what's not making me thrilled about Tenzin's story so far. But yeah, so happy with Korra in this episode, in that she just sides with her parents. She didn't get swayed by Unalaq trying to use her and manipulate her, which now I think about it, he didn't even try to. It made things look like it was a fair trial, so why even bother with that then if you no longer needed Korra? There's a lot still left up in the air, but I am so happy that Korra just sided with her parents. She went with the family, their relationship is fixed, now she can just go back to, I guess, trusting again, and she can grow again. Now she no longer has to worry about which person she should be looking to for guidance. She can go back to her father and she can just be cemented and understand that Unalaq is the threat that is currently going on. Although as much as I did enjoy seeing her go back to being defending her parents and being on their side, it still was a little annoying that she did go back to the intimidation thing after the whole Tarlok thing, that she's still just going up to people, intimidating them to get what she wants. It's not a great strategy, and it's annoying how much it's working for her. I wish that the lessons stuck when it came to Tarlok, because that was traumatic. I'm surprised that she did that again. Yeah, now I am also very invested into what her story will be for this season, because as Unalaq said, he no longer needs Korra. That is so interesting to me, because like the whole premise of the show, I think, is that does the world still need the Avatar? So now that you have a villain that no longer needs Korra as well, what does that set up? Because Aman's whole plan revolved around Korra being the centerpiece of his equalization, removing the Avatar entirely. Now the villain no longer needs Korra. He doesn't really have any plan for her. So what is going on there? It almost makes Korra feel a bit absent from the main plot, because that's always the plot. The Avatar is so involved in everything, but now the villain's saying they basically no longer need them. Yeah, now Korra is heading to the United Republic to get the military and talk to the president. So again, that's another separation thing. It's the Avatar acting on the will of the people rather than her own will. So that is a good thing. So glad she's going off to do that. It's just nice to see that she's willing to now step out of the fight and go recruit people instead. So I love that she has grown since season 1, where she always had to be at the center of the fight, protecting people. Now she's actually stepping out. There's going to be a war happening. People are going to be fighting people in the Southern Pole. She's leaving that, going to the Republic City, and talking to the president to get forces. She is actually taking a step back and making sure that they are able to fight. So happy with that. Then Unalaq, he's definitely an interesting villain, but his goals, as I've said before, I'm a little lost with. I get, this episode basically revealed that he wants power. He portrayed his brother to get the leadership in the north, and now he's done it again in the south. He made a fake trial to, I guess, sway the people to his side by showing an act of mercy. Oh no, they don't deserve the death penalty. We'll just lock them up for life instead. It makes him look, I guess, merciful or kinder, so they're more receptive to his authority. But on top of that, he also wants to open up the other spirit portals, which he no longer needs Korra to do, that would then unite the southern and northern tribe, because then you could just apparently teleport through it to get to the other side of the world. So is that his only goal here? Because it feels almost a little empty. We know, why would he want to just rule these two nations? Why couldn't that just be done by itself? What is going on in his past that's caused him to despise his brother so much? And what does this whole weird thing with the spirits and calming them down have to do with all of this? But I will say I do like how Korra is very absent from his plans. She does not feel like a major player in them. She opened the first portal, but that was basically all he needs her for, which is very interesting. Because it does back up this whole premise of, does the world still need the Avatar when even the villain doesn't even care about them anymore? Then you have Korra's parents, and I think this episode did a great job with them. So happy that they're on a better relationship, and Korra is going out of her way to defend them now. So that just proves that their relationship is fixed, it's solid again. So happy with that, and they have moved past the whole lying thing, which yes was a big deal, but looking at what is happening, that can be pushed aside to protect the people that you love. But I think especially I love the fact that the little scene with the mum, showing her crying and feeling helpless, that her husband was basically incarcerated for life. Love that attention to detail, where it's showing how all these events are affecting people. It's also giving Korra more of a resolve to help and choose a side here. So you're seeing that Unalaq is not suffering whatsoever, yet what he's doing is really impacting her own family. So I think that's got to be one of the biggest turning points for her to fully turn against Unalaq. Varric, I'm absolutely loving. I know at the start of the show he came off as just the witch person, a bit crazy, a bit nutty, eccentric, but now that he's gotten a more, I guess, involved role with all of them, absolutely love him. he is just completely nuts and chaotic. Like, it's not just him being around all these other fancy people, he's with regular people and he's still just a nutcase, and it's not even to do about money anymore, it's just his natural personality that he's just wacko. He hid in a bear costume with his assistant, I guess, underneath him. I'm assuming he's on her shoulders. That must be incredibly uncomfortable, so gotta give it to that assistant for putting up with this. But it's just like he has no, I guess, shame, or like it's the social aspects. He's pooping money out of the bear. It's so weird and it's just nuts. It had such a random and chaotic element to this show, and BOLIN still has the comedic presence, but this guy adds an unpredictability, and I really like that. Going with Unalaq, who's like the very serious side of this whole story, whose, I guess, motivation and mission or his goal is almost hard to see. Then you bring in Varric, who's like completely unpredictable in whatever he's going to do. It's just a nice contrast to all the other stuff going on in the show. I can't wait to see what else this guy gets up to, because he feels like adding the more classic cartoony element, like the boat at the end where it whizzed off to avoid Eska. It's like adding that kind of nutty randomness to a very grounded in seriousness. It's just a really awesome contrast. And then BOLIN's side of all this, I'm liking more and more. It's getting to a much more comedic place rather than just beating down on poor BOLIN. Yes, it was always funny, but you just feel bad for BOLIN mixed up in there. Now it feels like it's elevated to now just being comical and actually having some stakes to it. Eska is clearly insane, but it's cool to see her by herself and not with the brother, so it is just, and like, you could tell a lot from her face. It does look like she had emotion. She was crying, the mascara or makeup had run. So it seems like she does actually like BOLIN, maybe, and she's upset that he left her, or she's upset because she no longer has power over him. That could be something. Either way, it shows that she has emotion and that she was sad, she cried. Unless it's just the spray of the water that has made her makeup run. Either way, I think that just both Varric and BOLIN's side of all of this add such a cool thing to this season, where you have a lot of serious stuff going on with Korra, but then you get this really fun comedic stuff going on as well. They do feel very, I guess, different, because Sokka was always the comedic presence in Avatar, and his was always intertwined into the main plot of the show. It never felt separate or divided from the main plot. This one does a little bit, because you could easily see BOLIN and Eska's dynamic just away from whatever Korra's doing. Then Varric, I think, is the bridge between them. His unpredictability is what's bringing all of it together and creating a good cemented, I guess, atmosphere to encapsulate everything that is happening. Then onto Tenzin's side of things. Happy that the siblings have healed, and they're not quite healed, but they're just over their whole thing. Tenzin now has a new perspective and appreciation for his siblings, realizing what they went through in their childhood and how it's vastly different to his. Think that's perfectly fine in itself, and that they had their conflict and now they're over their conflict and they can just be better as people and together and as a family. I think the way they did it was also good, showing it through Iki's lens and having Tenzin basically see that he's acting like his small child when it comes to the siblings. And that he's meant to be a grown-up and be better, and because that Iki also provided another perspective for him. He's seeing that he was only thinking of himself and not his other siblings. So now he's gotten that, and now he can just be a better brother to both Kaya and Bumi. But I think the reasoning for it is just what bugs me. Having Aang be a bad parent, I don't like that. And the fact that Korra doesn't like correct him on this either. And the fact that Katara didn't correct him through their marriage is also a big thing for me. Like, why would she stand by and let Aang neglect the other two children? A lot of that is just not hitting me right, and I just don't understand why they did it. I'm sure there's other ways they could have introduced the whole sibling dynamic. They could have easily just gone with how the world viewed them. Aang would have been a very big presence in the entire world. Tenzin would have obviously gotten that as well, being the next airbender, and then Bumi and Kaya could have felt overshadowed by them with how the world sees them, rather than having Aang be the plot, the centre there. Have them feel neglected by their presence in the world rather than neglected by their father. Then on to what's next. I like that we're now going to Republic City. I just like the just world trotting nature of this. It feels like it's going back to Avatar in a way. Season 1 was completely set in Republic City. Awesome in itself, getting to see this entire new nation and basically build up the Avatar before they head out into the entire world. And now we're getting to do more where we're going between different places. So happy with that. Plus, I'm really looking forward to just see what Republic City is like now that you have the whole Oman thing over. I'm hoping for a bit more equality. I'm hoping to see some good change. We know there is a president now, so the council is over, but you have a president that's been elected. Kind of hope it's a non-bender, but then again, it doesn't really matter as long as they're thinking about non-benders and that is sort of on their mind. I feel like it's best if it's someone from that actual Republic City and not from an outside nation, because that's what happened with the council to begin with. Tenzin represented the airbenders and everyone else represented a nation. So I'm just kind of hoping that the leader is from Republic City and that's it. They can be a bender, it could be non-bender, whatever, as long as every citizen in that city is on their mind. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see Korra's side of this story now, that she's out of the fight, that she's not helping her parents, she's not fighting Unalaq, she's gone off to try and get the military, to go and get Captain Iroh. Is it Captain? I've forgotten his name, or I've forgotten his title already. Iroh, whatever. She's gone to recruit him to help with the water tribes. So I just love that she's taken that position, she's taken that backseat and gone to get more numbers, basically. That's it. She's not fighting, and I just think that's a really good direction for her character. She's always had to be at the front line. Now she's going far beyond the back line and just trying to back up the army that they need. She's not trying to take it all on her own, and I just think that's a good bit of development for her. Yeah, overall, I think this episode was really good in what it did. The balance between the comedy and the seriousness, done great. Unalaq is definitely becoming a more interesting villain, getting to know more about him and what is going on with him. He's definitely getting revealed faster than Aman did, so it's made me think what else they have in store for the rest of the season. Then Tenzin's side of things, waiting for that to become a bit more relevant, because again, that does feel very separated from the whole Korra side of stuff. It feels like they're just dealing with family drama, while Korra's dealing with like a lot of political and war-related issues. And then Tenzin's side of thing, of course, has the Aang drama, which I am not happy about. Yeah, overall, this episode did do a good job in what it wanted to do with Korra, with everyone, balancing it all out, the atmosphere of the episode, and just developing this major conflict that's happening. This feels like it is the setup, and now it's going to expand from here. Korra's getting an army. The water tribes are at war at this point. You have a clear cemented villain that is the cause of all of this divide. But with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments, and with that, I will see you in the next one for Season 2, Episode 5. See ya!